Hello everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of the DEA Member Spotlight Series, a brand new initiative by the Digital Euro Association. This series is all about showcasing our members' innovations that are solving real challenges in the world of digital money, payments, and infrastructure. If you enjoy this new format, please hit like, share it with your network, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel to stay up to date with more exclusive content. I'd like to start by thanking all our standard members for their continued support and say at the end of the episode, we will open the floor for a few audience questions. So feel free to drop your questions in the YouTube chat box throughout the session. Now, I'm pleased and honored to welcome today's guest, Fanto, founder and CEO of Sovereign Wallet, a DEA member since 2021. Fanto will be speaking with us about the MetaMUI Chained Cash, Sovereign Wallet technology, and the groundbreaking Indigenous Digital Infrastructure. Fanto, thank you so much for being here. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Namra. Thank you very much, DEA, and it's been an honor to present MetaMUI and Sovereign Wallet today. Let me share the screen. All right, everybody can see the screen?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Thank you. Okay, so our vision is to empower true financial sovereignty. In simple terms, helping people take full control of their money and truly be their own bank. We are focused on digitizing core societal infrastructure like cash and signatures as part of a broader mission to build a paperless world, not just for the convenience, but to protect our planet and pass on wealth and prosperity to future generations. I've designed a completely new kind of blockchain developed through joint research with University of Southern California. Unlike most anonymous blockchains, they came out of the cypherpunk movement. Our platform, MetaMUI, takes a very different approach. We've embedded the concept of identity directly into the blockchain. What it did was combine decentralized identity with a decentralized token system. That means MetaMUI can generate both a digital signature and a token at the same time. It's a powerful blend of identity and finance in one blockchain. This works built on the legacy of my university professor, Clifford Newman, who invented Netcash and Netcheck back in 1990s. Inspired by those early innovations, I designed something called Chained Cash, a form of offline digital cash. It works kind of like a banknote-style digital check. In an offline setting, if someone writes your check and signs it, you can verify the signature and accept it. No middleman required. It's a truly direct peer-to-peer payment system, even without internet access. Let's briefly look at some of the core problems with current blockchain technologies. In today's systems, the user generates a private key, and the public key becomes their account address. When they sign a transaction and submit it, the blockchain nodes record it in a block and then link it to the next block using a cryptographic hash, making the chain irreversible. Sounds secure, right? But this setup comes with a serious drawbacks. First, because the public key is used as an address, if the user ever loses their private key, there's no way to recover their assets. They are gone forever. Second, the blockchain have to store every transactions forever. They create a massive data scalability issues as the network grows. And third, the network relying on an arbitrary number of nodes performing probabilistic consensus, processing transactions sequentially one by one. This makes blockchains painfully slow. But here's the good news. MetaMUI has solved all of these problems. Before we dive into the solution, let's take a moment to review the key legal requirements that have either already been enacted or are in the process of being legislated, especially in the context of CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, and stablecoins. First, there's a growing consensus that we need to issue digital IDs to all users. And transactions on the ledger must be recorded in terms of those DIDs, decentralized identifiers. Second, wallet recovery must be possible in case a user loses access to their credentials. No more lost keys, lost funds. Third, if you look at Swiss stablecoin regulations, they clearly state that all account holders must be identifiable. Anonymity is no longer an option for regulated financial infrastructure. And lastly, in the event of illegal or suspicious transactions, there must be a mechanism for account freezing, just like in traditional banking systems. Again, here's the good news. MetaMUI meets all of these legal and regulatory requirements. In most anonymous blockchains, asset owner identification is based on a two-way mapping, the private key and the public key. But MetaMUI goes a step further. We use a three-way mapping, private key, public key, and DID, or decentralized identifier. Instead of writing the ledger based on the public keys, MetaMUI writes the ledger in terms of the user's DIDs. The private-public key pair is still used to authorize asset transfers, but the private key DID mapping forms what is called the identity blockchain, which acts as a decentralized public key infrastructure, or DPKI. Each DID can be linked to multiple public keys, which allow users to have multiple wallets, including hardware wallets with their own private keys. Now, here's the powerful part. If a user loses their device or private keys, we can simply update the public key associated with their DID, effectively allowing them to reset their private key and regain access without losing their identity or assets. The most important meaning of everybody having their own DID and the existence of a decentralized public key infrastructure, DPKI, is that we are finally digitizing one of the most fundamental parts of our modern legal systems, the signature, or in some countries, the registered seal or stamp. With a DID, any individual or organization can create a wallet and register their public key on the blockchain. This opens the door for them to digitally sign contracts, issue identity credentials like a driver license, or certify achievements like issuing a graduation certificate. And the best part, these digital signatures can be publicly verified using open standards and protocols. It's secure, transparent, and interoperable. In short, this is more than just a tech upgrade. It's a powerful step toward building the next generation digital infrastructure, not just for finance, but for the entire world. When we say we are bringing identity onto the blockchain, many people ask, what about privacy? This is a fair question, but in reality, self-sovereign identity is actually more private than traditional blockchain systems. No personal data is ever stored on the blockchain. Instead, a trusted third party, like a school or government, verifies your identity and issue a verifiable credential, or VC. The VC is stored in your wallet and you decide who sees it. You don't need to put every certificate on chain. And if you share a VC over an insecure channel, it's still cryptographically verifiable and unforgeable. A decentralized identifier, or DID, has a simple format: DID domain identifier. There are two types: public DIDs for people or organizations who want to share their identity information on-chain, like public figures or companies, and private DIDs for users who want privacy but still use digital signatures through DPKI. We also classify DIDs into 4 categories: people, including future avatars or digital humans; organizations, like companies or DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations; things, like robots or IoT devices; and even transactions, for example, using a DID to prove a house purchase. It's a flexible system that brings identity to everything while keeping users in control. With this DID and DPKI, we can use a two-way cryptographic authentication and authorization method called pairwise trust. Unlike traditional ID password or even two-factor systems, which are vulnerable to phishing because they only check one side, this approach verifies both the user and the service. Each side issues a certificate to each other when trust is first established, and later they must present that certificate to authenticate. It's a passwordless, secure, and convenient way to verify identity peer-to-peer way. With pairwise trust, we can strongly bind ownership to online assets and devices like digital cash, avatars, drones, or vehicles, not to a private key, but to the identity itself. That means if a private key is lost, ownership can still be recovered. And when needed, users can present identity credentials during authentication. For example, a taxi driver might need to show their employment certificate and driver's license, before sitting on a corporate vehicle. We can solve the Oracle problem using DID and certificates. Take gold, for example. Its owner can create a DID and get a certificate from an escrow bank, which then means a tradable certificate on the blockchain. The certificate goes into the Genesis block, and all future ownership transfers are recorded as on-chain transactions, giving us a publicly verifiable record of asset ownership, like digital notarization. MetaMUI Chained Cash is an offline digital cash protocol similar to a digital check. It's issued in real time by banknote based on a cash reserve managed between the central bank and commercial banks on the blockchain. While issuance is blockchain-based, Chained Cash itself is a centralized cash protocol. When cash is deposited back into the bank, the corresponding chained cash is automatically burned. Issued cash is stored in the user's wallet and used with the user's transaction signature attached to the bank signature. The receiver verifies the signature to complete the payment. To prevent double spending, the wallet uses secure hardware elements like iOS, Android hardware key stores and trusted execution environment, or TEE. Since no third party is needed to mediate the transaction, P2P payments are possible even offline, enabling direct exchange between digital assets and cash, or even currency-to-currency swaps without intermediaries. Chained cash enables simple offline payments. The payer digitally signs the transaction and generates a QR code. The receiver scans the code, verifies the payment details, and accepts the fund. As long as either party is online, double standing is prevented. A key feature of chained cash is that it operates as a ledgerless and untraceable cash system. Once the funds are returned back to the banknote, all associated transaction data can be completely erased, ensuring full privacy. Chained cash is a peer-to-peer payment protocol that doesn't require intermediaries during transactions. Since multiple independent banknotes can issue chained cash simultaneously, the system offers virtually unlimited scalability. This makes it ideal for the future of machine-to-machine commerce, where billions of devices will transact and make payments directly without human intervention. As a digital currency protocol based on electronic signatures, MetaMUI Chained Cash is specifically designed and optimized for AI agent-driven payments, enabling seamless data and service transactions via APIs, application programming interface, in the coming machine economy. In the era of self-sovereign finance, often captured by the phrase, "be your own bank," the digital wallet is expected to become the most essential user interface device. Sovereign Wallet, the company is preparing to launch a digital wallet of the same name, Sovereign Wallet, designed specifically for this new financial paradigm. The wallet generates hardware-based keys and enables secure digital signatures within a trusted execution environment, TEE. A single DID, decentralized identifier, serves as a user's account address, digital asset address, and messaging address, allowing for the management of both identity credentials and digital assets in one place. In the near future, communication between DIDs will also support features like certified digital mail and registered messages, enabling secure, verifiable messaging. The MetaMUI ecosystem is composed of a parallel blockchain system, a unified wallet, and a network of diverse service providers. Service providers can either create their own blockchain or generate a logically separate token ledger within the MetaMUI blockchain. This allows them to offer a wide range of services, such as digital identity verification, ticket, stock trading, digital currencies, and other digital tokens. There is no need to build an entire system from scratch. service providers can simply create the component they need and launch their services immediately. The MetaMUI token economy is designed for long-term sustainability. Within the ecosystem, all service fees are paid exclusive in the native utility token, MUI. Initially, the MUI Foundation issues a fixed amount of MUI and raises capital by selling a portion of it. The proceeds are stored in a reserve fund, which helps support and stabilize the token's value. Ecosystem participants can trade MUI on exchange to convert it back into cash and use it for various on-chain transactions. As the ecosystem expands and MUI payment demand rise with new services, the foundation actively manages liquidity. It can buy back MUI from exchanges and, if we need it, mint new MUI in real time to support continued growth, ensuring the platform remains stable and scalable. At its core, this approach decentralizes the power of money issuance, returning it to the people who back the system by depositing the fiat into the reserve. MetaMUI is a layer 1 blockchain that can be dynamically extended through real-time modular additions. This approach is far more efficient and secure than traditional smart contract systems, which require consensus for every application level, consensus agreement for every application level operation. To ensure service continuity, MetaMUI uses hot swap technology, allowing modules to be updated or added in real time without shutting down servers, enabling seamless and uninterrupted blockchain evolution. Sovereign Wallet has established its Swiss subsidiary, UNGN SA, and is currently preparing to launch a stablecoin service. The goal is to build a payment system comparable to financial industry level FPS, fast payment system, by leveraging chained cash technology. Users will be able to send funds easily using their DID addresses. As mentioned earlier, MetaMUI's identity-based wallet architecture allows verification of each stablecoin holder's identity, thereby ensuring the compliance with the Swiss stablecoin regulations, which require identity verification for all holders. UNGN offers an online marketplace specifically designed for street merchants who often lack access to traditional banking accounts and don't operate fixed location stores. These merchants can easily create their store profiles, including location registration, through a simple interface. Customers, in turn, can search for nearby street merchants, view their offerings, and make payments either online or offline, providing convenience and visibility for both merchants and buyers. Since 2022, MetaMUI has been providing national digital ID and national digital currency to Idingi, an indigenous sovereign nation in Australia. This year, the same system is planned to be implemented in other indigenous nations, including Birri Gubba and Waka Waka. In addition, discussions are underway with these nations regarding the issuance of a common indigenous digital currency, the AUDD, allodial unity digital dollar. The indigenous nations of Australia are aiming to build a new, inclusive, and sustainable economic and social system, with some even formally including asset-backed currency issuance in their constitutions. To support this vision, Sovereign Wallet plans to deliver a fully integrated digital infrastructure, which includes digital identity and electronic signatures, digital currency, and wallet-to-wallet cross-border payment on AI-driven algorithmic central banking system, a digital securities exchange, and blockchain-based voting systems. Thank you very much. That's all for the presentation.
Yeah, thank you so much, Phantom, for this insightful discussion and presentation. We do have some questions here, so I will start with the general ones. So we have here, which is quite interesting. So what does digital financial sovereignty mean in the context of the indigenous nations?
So, digital finance, I missed the last one. Digital finance,
Financial sovereignty, yeah.
sovereignty, yes. So, to become a nation, there are a few basic things you need. And having an identity, national identity is the one. And another one is the national currency. So if they don't have any national currency, they don't have a privilege of this seigniorage. They can create their own national currency, and by devaluating or increasing the value, they have a chance to develop their own national economy. But if you don't have their national currency and relying on other foreign currency, they don't have this kind of privileges. And in another aspect of this worldwide currency situation is every currency is inflationary. So some of the sovereign nation, they want to have a sustainable economic model so that they can have a asset-backed currency to stabilize the currency over time, so that they can use the currency as a store of value currency. That's the two different meaning. And also they want to have some kind of a protection from the kind of a currency attack or the invasion from the outside. So if you do not have any this kind of a currency, they are very vulnerable for the fluctuation and other economic situation of the outside world. They want to have some economic model that protect their own people. That's people inside the nation. And one of their government role is protecting their economy and the people living inside the nation.
Yeah, that's great. So you mentioned some partnerships. Perhaps you can elaborate a bit more about this partnership with Waka Waka Nation and the Birri Gubba and the Sovereignty Wallet, the solution that you are providing them.
Yes, and so we are working with them, and so I invented this innovative blockchain technology that can both serve the identity world and then token world. And we need some kind of place that we can experiment and develop apply the system. And one of the good matchmaking in this indigenous nation is that ironically they don't have not much of previous infrastructure. So having multiple capability is a blessing and also the curse at the same time. In the developed nation, if you try to apply the national currency or identity system or any small system, our system is holistic approach, everything combined. It's very difficult to penetrate into this, plug into this system because there are so many stakeholders, so many things to be updated and changed and standardized. But on the contrary, in the indigenous nation, since they don't have anything, I mean, they have a very limited infrastructure. And if you offer them to have just one currency, then um, there is no other infrastructure that you can simply plug into the system. But our case, we are independent and holistic system. We can support many things at the same time, and it's very good to integrate. And also, we developed the cloud style system. When you consider implementing CBDC or national identity system, then you can think about a lot of many SI development. I mean, you have to contract some software company and design the system and develop the system test. It takes a lot of time and complex development processes required and large cost. But if you have a already ready to use, so at the early stage of IT development, you have a PC that do your own system. Now everybody has a smartphone, ready-made, ready to use. Our vision of MetaMUI CBDC and DIDC, digital identity and digital currency system, is providing this cloud-style system that any nation can easily adapt and just publish the system. When you're publishing the sovereign Indian dollar in the Indinji, it took about 4 hours to just. So likewise, we team up partnership with this indigenous nation to showcase all the advanced and integrated national infrastructure and expand further to other indigenous nations or smaller nations. They can adapt this kind of system instead of building their own system from scratch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so based on your explaining, I guess that the adoption, it's also much easier. Consider that you don't have these other kinds of competitors in the same ecosystem. So we have here a question about the adoption. So how are the members of the nation, so Yakawaka Nation, being introduced and trained to use the digital wallet? So is there any kind of training and education to drive this adoption?
So actually, user interface is very simple. Let me go back to the slide. Like this. Yeah. If you look at this slide, it's actually the UNGN system, but virtually the wallet.
Sorry, Fanto, you need to share the screen.
Oh, share again. Okay,
please.
sorry.
Yeah.
So if you look at this UNGN wallet, so all you need to do is just type in the DID, like DID, UNGN, and other users. So very easy to do, and then type in the amount and press the PIN or the fingerprint, whatever, and boom, that's it. And payment also is very simple, just offline payment. Scan and pay. So it's almost no need to do training or education or thinking. It's much more easier than any traditional payment system.
Understood. Good.
Mm.
Now we have a question, from Lasse. Hi, Lasse, thanks for joining. So how does this align with the EU-based eIDAS 2 project? So there is any kind of alignment with this project?
So right now, what I did was I invented a very new, different approach than traditional blockchain system, and I've been very active in DEA for a while. So until last year, I've been focusing on developing this system, like especially the chain cash. I designed the MetaMUI blockchain a while ago, about only. So I launched the mainnet in 2021. It's about 4 years ago. But the chain cash version, I like to have this offline payment and peer-to-peer payment system. And chain cash recently completed. So I completed this technological development. So I'm currently looking for the partner, and then we're gonna gradually open the technology to multiple partner at the beginning. But later on, eventually I'm thinking of open sourcing many of the technology to build globally compatible DID and payment system. So I'm very actively looking for European partners to work with.
But is there any task related with the European Digital Identity Regulation? So you are pursuing, to have any alignment with the regulation of digital identity, or you are in the really beginning phase, and this will be in a next phase?
Yes. So one of the approach that I did was instead of focusing on completing the one aspect. So my approach is a little bit holistic approach. Set the goal to have a requirement or the feature that need to be implemented. And so if you develop only the identity or only the cache system, and it's hard to make the system that is a combination of both. So combination of everything. So I envision some of the features and requirements they require, and then I go to this direction as fast as possible. So currently, not much of effort in the standardizing and working with other partners. And also, one of the key difference in the traditional approach is that I can explain like this. Think about telecommunication industry. And previously, industry, they have to make a standard and work together, do the system development one by one to have a global roaming system and telecommunication network. But nowadays, just like you and me doing this, using the internet, voice over IP, and this IP-based, protocol-based system, we replace all this traditional approach. Similarly, we are looking to have a approach either in the payment. The currently payment is the system that have a traditional approach using the SWIFT network and banks and private network. This infrastructure maintenance and everything is very costly. So if you come up with a protocol-based payment system, they can securely transfer the money over the internet. And also, one other missing part is the identity. Protocol-based comparable system, instead of having standard and everything, you have a protocol. So if you make a system comparable with a protocol, then you are comparable, interoperable with all the other systems around the world. So if you consider identity space, there is actually no blockchain style standard right now. So maybe I can contribute in making a standard that has a similar internet style approach from now on.
Yeah, I see. So you mentioned the application in the Australia. We have a question here. It's related with broader implications. So could this model be replicated by other indigenous communities globally?
Yeah, that's actually the plan. So indigenous nation, they're gonna have a conference in August to invite all the indigenous nation in other continent like South America and North America and many of the island countries and other countries in the major nations and etc. So they're going to have a alliance, and so they plan to extend this AUDD into multiple currency alliance to all the other indigenous nations around the world.
Yeah, that's great. And looking for the challenges. So what are the challenges of implementing decentralized technologies in these, let's say, remote communities?
Yeah, so if I have a traditional approach like system integration, system development approach, if I have to go this island country, have a business trip and discuss about the features and all these things, it won't work because those are the people and the nation that need this kind of systems. So that's why I have a cloud style approach, ready-made approach. Instead of customizing one by one, I build a very open and standard-based and flexible system that can apply to many of the world. And one other approach is that it's a little bit more similar to open source approach. So there are the big giant companies, big tech companies building the system, and another approach that match with this big tech giant is open source approach. We are going into this similar to open source approach, and this is a collective common asset among all those indigenous nations eventually in the future. So many of the people involved in this currency movement and then system infrastructure expansion, we're gonna contribute and work as a open source community and gradually spread to the world. So I believe eventually many of the small nations and even the major nations, if our effort grows, it's better to use our system than developing their own custom system. The main reason why this is a currency system. So building this currency system using the SI style, system development style is, in the security point of view, quite dangerous. Because if some programmer made a mistake, there are massive amount of code, and it could be dangerous. Instead of, we can have a open source and then have a natural selection of good code and the good architecture into the system, and then every code need to be verified. And this verified and proven and used by many people, and gradually upgrading this system is a much better approach. So one major different approach that we are doing is I don't really like the smart contract or the approach of many of the traditional blockchain system, like having a one single giant blockchain and you putting everything, the very expensive billions of dollars of token and some school project data, having the school project data at the same time on a single blockchain, it doesn't make sense. So in our MetaMUI blockchain system, I designed the token economic model that if you like to publish the token, you need to pay. So that we don't have not much of garbage data. So in the blockchain system, having this data management and this economic model is very important for the sustainability and continuous growth of the system. It should be designed from the beginning.
Yeah, but what about the costs for the end user? So just mentioned that you have to pay, but this cost will be absorbed by the companies, or this would be by the end user at the end of the
so
process?
actually the end user. And one of the different approaches that we're going to have a lot of utilities. So not only just most of the blockchain CBDC and token system is just for the payment, but we have various identity services. Like since we have a DPKI, Decentralized Public Key Infrastructure, that means everybody has a DID, not only the user, like the school and then government. What is the national identity card? The identity data signed by the government, digitally signed by the government. So you can have a passport, national ID, driver's license, vaccination certificate, employment certificate, even the peer-to-peer contract, any certificate can be done. So anybody performing this service charge the user, and those are the service providers, and they pay the blockchain operator for the core service. So they build this blockchain components services on top of this blockchain component and provide a service to the user, and end user pays for the service, and in return pay for the system operator, service provider, and developers.
Got it. Yeah, I think we still have time for one more. We have here one about the digital identity. So how are digital identity and reputation managed within the sovereignty wallet ecosystem?
So digital ID and which one? Hesitation?
Digital identity and reputation.
Reputation? What is reputation?
So how do you ensure that everything it's fair and it's completely blocked for any other interactions that you have this good reputation with the digital identity?
Yes, so this self-sovereign identity is a quite common concept. So in the DID world, there are three different DIDs. One is um, digital ID, centralized, just digitizing the ID. And then so distributed ID, and so one single entity having multiple systems. It's similar to the federated ID, like Facebook login or Google login. But the last one is the decentralized identity. Decentralized ID mechanism was built on the refugee camp. In the refugee camp, you need to have some kind of ID to verify the user, like who stand in the line twice or three times in the food distribution lines. And so in the decentralized identity, most important concept is the identity verification is decentralized. So instead of a single entity verifying your identity and tokenized ID, many part of your identity credential can be separated and tokenized and digitized separately. So for example, your nationality can be verified by your government, and your graduation certificate verified by your school, and your employment and certificate by your company, organization, etc., etc. And those are signed document by the trusted third party. So all your information is not stored in the single store. It's all spread around the world, and only the tokenized ID, like only the identifier, is exactly the same as public key, just anonymous random numbers or random information. It doesn't contain any of the personal information, but this can be the key to access to your verifiable identity, and more importantly, you are in control. That's the meaning of self-sovereign identity. You receive your identity credential in your wallet and present to the user, person, or the organization that you need to present. For example, graduation certificate issued from the university and stored on your wallet, and you send to the employee to verify your degrees.
Okay, so we are nearly out of time. So I'd like to thank you again, Fanto, for this great conversation today. And before we wrap up, could you please share any final thoughts or closing remarks?
Yes, so I invented this MetaMUI sovereign wallet and um, other systems, chained cash, and but this is a big revolution. For me alone and my company alone is cannot do this. So we are actively looking for partners who interested in this digital revolution and implementing this new digital infrastructure for the sustainability and everything. So thank you very much for your thought, and I'm looking for any good partner to contact us to work together. Thank you very much.
Great. Yeah, great. Yeah, thank you so much, Fanto. And a big thank you as well to everyone watching and engaging with us today. If you enjoy this episode, please like the video, share it with your network, and subscribe to our channel to support this initiative and never miss a future episode. We'll see you soon for the episode 2 of the Dear Member Spotlight series. Until then, stay curious and stay connected. Thank you. Bye-bye.